Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. You might have noticed I've got a guest and it's not just a fossil this week, it is my boyfriend Fiann. I thought, well, a few of you were asking who he is, I guess, because he's obviously who I'm living with at the moment. I'm actually living with him and his parents here in Dorset, and I just thought I'd do a little introductory video because the last time I did one was maybe like a year.
Yeah, probably more than a year.
Yeah, I think it was when I just moved into my last place, so yeah, it was like January 2019, I think. So a while ago, so I thought I'd do a different one, and you guys have sent in your questions. They were actually all very tame, which I'm surprised about. But yeah, we're gonna do a little Q&A kind of thing before we go out gardening. There have been a lot of requests for this to become a gardening channel, which I don't know if why.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, Fiann used to be a gardener, so he does actually know what he's doing. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna ask the questions. I guess we'll both answer them. So without further ado, how/where did you meet?
Do you want to field that one?
Yeah, sure, okay, fine. We met at Bristol University, where we were both there. Fiann was doing his masters, so he did his undergrad there as well. I could just do this whole video by myself.
Yeah, I'll just sit here smiling.
Okay, you do that. He did his undergrad there, but we met when he was doing his masters and I had just started my undergrad degree there. We met kind of at the end of my first term in first year, and then we were friends for a bit, and then we were more than friends at the end of my first year of uni. So yeah, that's what, like 5 years ago?
5 years in 2 weeks' time.
Oh yeah.
Give or take.
Better remember that.
Just in case you'd forgotten.
Can't forget our anniversary. Okay, how long have you been together? Yeah,
There
5
we go.
years. There we
Nearly 5
go.
years.
What does Fiann do? What do you do?
What
Can
do
you
I
introduce
do?
yourself?
I'm Fiann, I'm Flora's boyfriend, for those of you who haven't met me before.
Full-time
Although
job.
you do talk about me.
Yeah,
Probably too much, so you probably know a little bit. I am a paleontologist, as you might be able to tell from the backdrop. Basically spend my time hunting for fossils, cleaning them. I studied them for my PhD, which I finished a year ago now, which is quite terrifying. So generally a professional fossil nerd. So I do that, and I also do academic editing, which is basically editing scientific manuscripts before they go off for publication. So that's how I keep the academic side of my life going, and then I keep the practical side entertained with fossil hunting.
Actually, someone asked, how did you make the decision not to go into academia after doing PhD, and how are you finding it?
I made the decision very easily when I realised I didn't want to work 70-hour weeks for the rest of my life.
Fair.
And not have any time to myself.
Yeah.
And basically, I've never been very good at being told what to do
Can confirm.
by anyone.
This is very, very true.
So the idea of having a boss and having to be where other people tell me to be, do what other people tell me to do, and not have any real autonomy is just a non-starter for me when it comes to work. So I've always been my own boss. I've always been self-employed. Before university I was a self-employed landscape gardener, and so I've never really had a boss, so to speak, apart from supervisors at university. And I've never wanted one, so I was thinking about going into academia, but it was more because that was what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do an undergrad degree, preferably a master's degree, a PhD, do a few years of postdoctoral research, and then go on the career track towards becoming a lecturer, professor, etc. So on the treadmill of academia. And that never really appealed to me, because I enjoy doing the studying.
Yeah, so it wasn't that you just didn't enjoy academia, it's more the other stuff that comes with it.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it enough to want to make it the rest of my life, and I'm very much an advocate for not doing what you think is the thing you should do even when you don't enjoy it,
Yeah.
especially if it's to make to live up to other people's expectations, which is what it would have been. So for me it was kind of, in the end, an easy choice, and so far I think
good?
the right choice.
Yeah.
Because I'm now freelance and self-employed and my own boss, and have 100% autonomy with my time.
Actually, it was that kind of attitude from Fiann that helped me as well when I was like trying to decide whether I wanted to continue in science media and science communication alongside all my blogging, or whether I actually wanted to try and take it full-time with the blogging and social media consultancy, which is obviously what I ended up doing. But it took me, what, like a year of
At least, yeah.
careful consideration, saving money, and, you know, trying to decide whether or not it was economically feasible and all that kind of stuff. But in the end I was a bit like, actually, what's the point in doing something that it wasn't that I didn't enjoy it, but not doing something that you absolutely love for the sake of doing something that people kind of expect you to do, basically.
I think you knew the right decision to make about 6 months before you made it. You just needed confidence in your own decision making to be sure that it was the right way to go, and also not to have the fear of jumping off a cliff and then finding out that you can't fly.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have the kind of padding of being it known that you can earn enough money to at least pay your rent. And then you can kind of try and build from there. Because obviously I was earning some money from it, but I was like, actually, if I spend more time, is there any possibility of earning any more money from it? Because if not, then I can't do this. So
yeah, I was going to say, we're both very lucky that we were in positions to go freelance or self-employed, and I appreciate that not many people have that opportunity. So for us, it took, you know, some leaps of faith and a lot of hard work to get to that stage for both of us.
I mean, you did 8 years of...
I did 8 years of studying and 12 years of being a fossil nerd and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it wasn't an overnight thing, but having things we could move into in a freelance capacity was very handy.
That's working out pretty well.
Yeah,
I think.
Thus far.
Training question. Do you always train together?
Nope.
No. Obviously...
Well, we do, actually, we do at the moment.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different at the moment. I've done, obviously, a lot of my vlogs are of our long runs together, and so in our long runs, yes, we do them together. But generally, Fiann does kind of different training to me. He does a lot more heavy lifting, compound lifts, like that kind of stuff. Used to when the gyms were open, and I did like all sorts, spinning, boxing, weights as well, but not so much. Now we're stuck in the same house, so we do train together a lot. But we also do, like, I do all my physio stuff that Fiann doesn't want to do, and Fiann does all of his arm stuff that I don't want to do. So yeah, we do some separate stuff as well. But oh yeah, this is a good follow-on question. Who is the better runner? So we can't decide on this,
no,
really.
I can decide that you're a better runner.
Fiann thinks that I'm a better runner. What I think is that I just train harder, because Fiann's like, I don't really want to train, but is annoyingly good without the training.
But if one trains to become really good at something, that doesn't stop them being better than the person who's naturally good at something but doesn't train.
It's true.
So you are just objectively better because you've trained harder.
At the moment, I'm a bit better, but only because I've been training for the half marathon, and Fiann will just come out with me on 20k runs just because he can.
I run for the joy of getting outside and exploring and freedom, rather than for any specific training purpose to be like, I want to get X time or go X distance. None of that matters to me really at all. It's more just getting out and exercising and exploring and having fun. So we have different goals.
I think that's probably one of our biggest differences, actually, is that I'm quite competitive and goal orientated, whereas Fiann is not. Okay, favourite quality about each other. My favourite quality about you is...
You're gonna need a minute.
Fiann doesn't really care about what anyone else thinks. What he does is unfettered by public opinion or personal opinion of him or anything else. So it's all very... He does things because he wants to do things, which I think is like I think it's a better way, because it's not like doing things because you're expected to do things or whatever, because I feel like that's not a very good way of living in the long term, and it's something that I could definitely learn a thing or two from.
I try and encourage you down that road.
Yeah.
In some things it's probably not the right way to go about it.
I don't know. There's no point trying to work for other people's happiness if you don't have your own.
No. As long as you're not causing other people any harm or unhappiness, then I think it's the right attitude to have. For me personally.
Yeah.
And I think everyone could, benefit from having a little bit more of that.
Now, your favourite quality about me?
My favourite quality about you, either your positivity, generally you're very positive about everything and put a positive light on things and try and think about things in the best possible way. You don't dwell on negatives too much. Or your dogged determination.
Yeah, again, it could be seen as a good thing or a bad thing sometimes.
Again, I think both of ours are good things as long as it's not 100% of everything you do.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
A good combination of both of those things. I need to be more like you in that regard, and I can help you give less of a damn about the less important things.
I know the problem with being on social media is that you always care about what people think. Not you don't care at all. Oh, Fiann has a social media channel, by the way. He doesn't care about it, but he's actually quite famous. He's got a Instagram account for his fossils, which is at fms.fossils, and you can go and check it out because it's got all sorts of interesting information on it.
Nerdy fossils. And Bella here, the ichthyosaur back there, I think is on my profile picture on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, she's so cute. For a dead thing. What's our current living arrangement?
Currently, we are living at my parents' place.
Yay!
Which is great for someone in their rapidly approaching mid-30s.
So currently we're living with my in-laws, I guess that's what I'd call them.
Yeah, I mean, we're not married, but we'll go with that.
Sure,
Definitely,
why not?
I don't think there's a word for it otherwise. I would normally be living between here and where Flora lives in London, but about a week before lockdown we saw the writing that was on the wall and we saw the way things were going, so we came to the executive decision that it would make more sense to spend however long this is going to last, months at least, down here rather than stuck in a tiny flat in London, not being able to move or do anything.
Yeah,
so
with all my housemates and
you
stuff.
rushed down here a week before there were any restrictions on movement or transport.
Yeah.
And we kind of
stuck here now.
Sequestered ourselves down here.
Which isn't bad actually,
No,
I really
'cause
do
we
like
thought
it.
It's better to be down here where we live, sort of by some open fields and a hill and some woodlands, so we can get out still, go walking and adventuring and get fresh air, and it's actually, we're much less likely to bump into another human being doing that than we would be walking down the road into town here. So
Yeah, very true.
we thought for our sanity's sake and our health's sake we would stay here during lockdown rather than in the middle of the city.
So usually though we'd be, like Fiann said, back and forth between London and here. Probably 1 week in London together, 1 week here together, and then 10 days apart or something.
We did have plans moving on in the near future.
Not from each other.
Not from each other, no. We can't do that. I'm not sure I can move on now.
Moving house.
Moving house
is what you meant. Yeah. So we were we were kind of already looking to move in together. So we have lived together before, but only very briefly, and it was at university. So obviously Fiann had his housemates and I had mine. And I got an internship in Bristol and I did not have a house. So I went to go and live in Fiann's room, basically, in Bristol. But we'd quite like more space than that.
It'd be nice to live in, more than just a single room.
Yeah, exactly. So we're thinking of moving to Bristol because it's equidistant between here in Dorset and London.
Ironically, for not being equidistant.
Yeah, not at all. It's like a triangle, basically, but, what can you do? And it means that both of us could commute to our respective works whilst also being able to work from home together in the same place.
And we both know the city and love it.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it's a great city.
A good combination because you are a born and bred city girl, even though you love the country, and I'm a born and bred country boy.
Yeah.
And Bristol's the perfect
nice
combination of those two.
Yeah.
All of that is now on hold with the given situation because God knows what's going to happen when it comes to looking for housing and things. So yes, currently...
So we're squatting, basically, which is alright. Next question. Are you both still working?
Yeah, I'm working probably more than ever at the moment.
Yeah, Fiann's really busy.
Yeah, so I do, my freelance editing is global. The company I work for is based in India with an office out of Singapore, and they have freelance editors, including myself, from all around the world. There's about 2,000 of us work for this huge company. They get academic manuscripts, so the writing for a scientific publication before it is published, from all over the world, mainly from non-native English-speaking countries, so places like China, South Korea, a lot, various parts of South America. And then I edit those manuscripts and sort of help improve the written English and get them ready for scientific publication. And because that's a global company, it hasn't really seen much of a downturn in work, and I can do it from home or anywhere, so I'm very lucky. I don't need to go into an office anywhere, I don't need to commute anywhere, so I can carry on doing that. And I also have a fossil selling business, which I started a while ago.
Get the plug in.
And I've just built a new website for that, which went live a couple of weeks ago.
What's the URL?
Which is JurassicCoastFossils.com.
Beautiful.
Or the link is in my Instagram bio.
Very good. You're almost pro at this now.
Thanks. Experience.
Link in bio.
Exactly. So, because that revolves around selling fossils that I've found over the years and cleaned and prepared, and I can do that from home, it means I can still keep doing that as long as I can get to the post office once a week to send things out. So I'm lucky that I have two jobs, both of which can continue for the time being.
I am kind of working at the moment. I'm doing all of my Instagram and YouTube stuff, but that doesn't really pay for the vast majority. My YouTubes actually cost more money to make than they actually make me, by about twofold. But I'm also doing my consultancy bits and bobs here and there. I don't know if, I haven't actually mentioned it on YouTube, but I did a social media consultancy guide so that I could work with more people rather than just what I previously did be to work with one company over 6 weeks, but I could only work with 1 or 2 people at once. Whereas obviously with the guide, it means that it's significantly cheaper because it's not one-to-one advice, but it means that it could be relevant for lots and lots of different people. It's more of a generalised guide. I will actually put the link below because it's sold pretty well so far. It's been out for a month now, I think. Or nearly a month, 3 weeks or something. And so I'm kind of focusing on that at the moment. That's the thing that's kind of earning me money. So I'm obviously paying rent still in London whilst living here, so I can't just not work. Although the gardening, what's it called? Gardening leave. I'm on literal gardening leave. Hence all the Instagram videos and whatnot. But yeah, that's all going.
You've been paying your rent for gardening.
I have.
Buying food.
Yeah, it's not bad actually.
Yeah,
if I could do that more, I really would. I really enjoy gardening. It's like my new favourite thing. What is it? Nominative determinism. It's me. I'm called Flora, and I like working with plants. So.
But you should probably be a florist.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
We have lots of plants. You can't actually see any of them in this. There are plants everywhere, but you can't see them. None of them are flowering, so I guess maybe not. Next question. Has all this made you want to move to Dorset permanently?
For me, I think that's probably pretty easy to answer because I've lived in Dorset for...
Ever?
How old am I? Nearly 30 years, so...
Christ. For me, no. I love it here, but I think even though Fiann loves it here, we have decided that it would be a little bit quiet.
It's not the right time of life for that.
Yeah.
It's
for a young, vibrant couple, I think the middle of nowhere in Dorset...
You're both those things, I'm not sure I'm either.
I think you're both. Middle of Dorset's maybe not the one. It's gorgeous, but more of a kind of chill out place. Like, I find it harder to work here than I do in London. I think just because it is so relaxed. I almost feel like I actually just don't have to work, but of course one must eat.
Yeah, although we're growing veg now, so I don't know.
Easy.
Don't know if one does need to earn money to eat.
Okay. Do you fight? Do we fight?
Physically?
We do sometimes physically fight. I was trying to teach Fiann boxing.
It's not worth physically fighting because I would definitely lose.
I don't know about that.
You're trained.
I'm a trained fighter.
Trained in the deadly arts.
Yeah, it's true. Do we fight? No.
No, we don't. I don't think we've ever really had a proper argument in 5 years, have we?
I don't think so, but that's not because I don't make my opinion known.
No, it's not because I don't disagree with everything you say.
We're
very similar. We have very similar opinions and everything, which really helps. But also, if we disagree on something, we generally discuss it rather than argue. I personally hate arguing. I just feel like it's unnecessary in most circumstances and rarely leads to a positive outcome. Whereas discussing something, this is probably because I'm a scientist, discussing something rationally can lead to a better understanding from multiple perspectives, whereas just a shouty argument just ends up with people being pissed off.
Really upset.
No one understanding of a person's point of view and no one empathising.
I'm really conflict averse. Like, I hate arguments, but mainly because I do feel like they're just totally irrational most of the time. Because as soon as you put in loads of emotion, you're no longer thinking about, like, usually for most arguments there is a solution. It's either a disagreement and you come to a compromise, or it's a right or wrong thing and there's a right and a wrong. If your goal is to win, then being good at arguing is like a good thing. But if your goal is to find out what the truth is, or like find out some sort of compromise for an argument, then actually just discussing it is a better way. And obviously that's easier said than done, I think, for a lot of people. Like, some people do just enjoy arguing.
I think if you're in a relationship and you enjoy arguing and your goal is to win, then that just isn't particularly healthy for your relationship. Because that's then just, you're competing against someone you are supposed to be in a mutual relationship with. Why would you want to defeat them, so to speak? That makes no sense to me.
Agreed.
But I'm not very normal.
No, you're not very normal.
So we agree on everything.
And do we spend any time apart?
At the moment, only when you go on one of your 1,000 runs a week and I've decided I've had enough.
I don't like 3 a week.
Like
we
I said,
spend no, we also work separately. So when we're doing our own work, although we're in the same room, our desks kind of face opposite, like, apart from each other. So
And I've got a workshop where I do all of my fossil stuff, so you don't like spending much time in there, do you?
No, it's
got no windows, it's freezing
really cold.
So it's a man cave.
It is a man cave, so I stay out of there.
We used to see each other probably only 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Up until lockdown.
And
We've gone through phases depending on our life circumstances.
Yeah, because there was a time when Fiann was finishing his PhD in Bristol and I was working full time. So in London, I'd go up on Friday, arrive at about 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and then leave Sunday night. And we could only really do that maybe every fortnight or so, which I know is like not that bad in terms of long distance relationships, but it was harder than it is now. Yeah,
it's harder than it needs to be, probably.
Yeah. But it was only temporary, it was like while Fiann finished his PhD, basically.
And our life we're always going to have periods where we spend time apart in our lives because we have ferociously independent lives in terms of our work.
Yeah.
So you can't always come to the beach with me fossil hunting or spend time in the workshop prepping, and I can't be dragged around to all of your events and everything like that. Whatever
we have our
happens,
own
we will
lives,
have
for
our own
sure.
lives, yeah. So we spend time apart there, which is healthy, I think.
Yeah. Any quick fire questions?
What, me ask you?
Yeah.
What's your favourite tool when you're gardening?
Pickaxe.
I knew you'd say that.
Mainly because it's a really good workout and also is really functional. It just works.
And yet no one owns a pickaxe. It doesn't seem like a normal tool to
Is
have
it
in the
not? I
garage.
wouldn't
No.
know. I've only seen.
Well, people think you only
this
use them
garden.
for mining in computer games.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, that is kind of my image of it.
But you use it to destroy sedges.
Hey,
Well, that was satisfying.
nice work.
I use it to destroy sedges, which is the best use, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hummus or guacamole?
Hummus.
Oh, yeah, great answer.
Yeah, no more needs to be said than that, surely.
Okay, peanut butter or Marmite?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, fair.
Peanut
Any
butter
more?
and hummus.
No.
Perfect.
Stop. What's your favourite dinosaur?
Extinct or extant?
Extinct dinosaur.
So a lot of people don't know. My favourite dinosaur is probably something like a hoopoe, which is a funky bird that has a head crest and jumps around on the floor looking for worms. But most people don't know that birds are dinosaurs, so when you say what's your favourite dinosaur, just pick a bird. There are loads of them to choose from.
That's your fun nerdy fact
That's
of
my
the
fun
day.
nerdy fact. My favourite extinct dinosaur is Sinosauropteryx, which is a little metre-long dinosaur related to T-Rexes that had funky ginger feathers all over it, and I worked on it as part of my PhD, working out what colour it was, which there's
You
a
made
paper
the front
somewhere online
cover?
about that. I made the front cover of one of the big academic journals,
Yeah, pretty
which
cool.
was pretty cool. Not me.
No, no, the
Just a picture of
dinosaur.
me. Yeah, the dinosaur.
Yeah.
The dinosaur took all the credit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that one's pretty cool. But my favourite fossils are not actually dinosaurs. It's these again, ichthyosaurs,
Ichthyosaurs.
which a lot of people say are dinosaurs, which I don't get too
But
upset about these
actually
days.
they're marine
But actually they're marine
reptiles.
I think I'm quite calm at not getting angry about that.
Yeah.
Because that's like pointing at a person and saying, look, a dog.
Okay,
They're
yeah,
about
but...
as... Well, actually, we're more closely related to dogs, I would say, than dinosaurs. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, any more quick fire questions?
Yeah, you regret asking me that one, don't
Yeah, I do. Let's move on.
you? What's your favourite type of dog?
Oh, that's really... Vizsla.
That was quick.
Well, I thought it was a really tough question, but then I realised I'd already made up my mind. And I think it's not necessarily my favourite type of dog, but it's my favourite kind of dog for, like, my lifestyle. Because I want a dog that I can run with, that's cute and boundy, but not too big, but not too small, kind of robust, but...
If you could only ever exercise or listen to music again in your life, you had to only have one of those things, what would it be?
It'd have to be exercise.
Very depressing.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good decision to make.
You wouldn't be able to listen to music while exercising?
I can listen to you, which is kind of what I have to do now.
What, rant on about dinosaurs?
Yeah. No, that's a really tough one, because obviously, well, music's like a massive part of both of our lives. Fiann used to be a drummer in a band, and I used to be a chorister, quite different, but
Should
yeah.
have crossed over.
That would have been weird.
That just becomes Christian rock at that point.
Christian rock, is that a thing?
It's a genre, yeah. I wouldn't.
Okay. Anyway, but then exercise has like all the mental health benefits that I know music kind of does as well, but I feel like exercise is a bigger part of my life than music. Otherwise I'd have a music Instagram account and YouTube account. What about you?
Yeah, it's a good point. Music or exercise?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Why did you ask it? It's got to be turned around on you.
No, you can't. All the other questions haven't been turned around.
But I'm intrigued.
I'll tell you my favourite dog.
Okay, tell me your favourite dog. Ziggy.
Yeah.
Fiann doesn't
You
like
have to
small
explain
dogs,
who
but
Ziggy
is obsessed with my sister's little dog.
Does he have his own? He does have his own Instagram.
Potato.
Which
is
has
his
more
Instagram
followers
account.
than either of us combined.
Yeah, which is embarrassing, but he is very cute and much cuter than either of us, so that's maybe why.
Yeah, that's true.
Small and fluffy and ginger, we love him. I think that's it for all the questions.
We've got to go and do some gardening.
Yeah, well this is like every day is basically just waiting to go out and garden. Which is, there are worse things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, do go and check out Fiann's Instagram account at fms.fossils and check out his website, jurassiccoastfossils.com.
Should I change it to something more
No,
pronounceable?
no. Jurassic Coast is where we are here in Dorset, and it is a prime spot for finding fossils. So that's the explanation of that. Or buying them from an excellent website near you, which is the internet, which is Fiann's website. So yeah. And if you did enjoy this, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We will be back to running content next week, where I'm going to be doing a 10k time trial with Fiann on the bike again after
Just
my
about cycled 10k, I think.
after my half marathon, and everyone was praising his camera skills. So he's being hired again.
Much more impressive than the running part of the half marathon.
Yeah, oh absolutely, yeah. No one was saying that my time trial was good. Anyway, yes, we'll be back with running content, so please do hit the subscribe button to get the alerts for that. Thank you. Do you have anything to say?
Stay safe, stay socially distanced, and good luck to everyone.
Good luck. See you later. Bye.